So I was going to meet someone online for the fleet at like 8 o'clock, but Star Trek's down until 9. Because a reset on Tuesday, and then another one on Wednesday, and now on Thursday. I told them, re-engineering is not a small system. It's going to take a lot of tweaks. Morning. It's not necessarily re-engineering that's doing it. It's, they needed to fix the honored dead talent. Traits, whatever. It's a starship trait, not a talent. I was doing a little too much WoW this morning. That's what the most recent update thing was, is they're doing the things with honored dead.
What's honored dead?
Oh, it's the one that I read off that you need to do, like, or if... Once per second, if you are getting hit, you're gaining damage resistance rating, but if you aren't getting hit, you gain overall damage.
Ah.
And they're tweaking all of that by about half. I think the damage increase was fine, but people were becoming effectively immortal the other way around, because they were getting like 200 damage resistance rating with 20%, or with like 40% regenerated hull and stuff. It was absolutely nuts. So they've tweaked it down. Instead of plus 20 damage resistance rating, it's plus 10. And instead of 1% hull regenerated, it's 1%. Or instead of 2%, it's now 1%. And they may have to tweak it again, because it still may make you very, very immortal, because that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I posted the screenshot of my ship's character screen to the fleet thing, but I told Hal, and not a lot of the fleet people watch this, the regular vlogs. I titled the thing on my on the picture on my computer, "Let's see what they rip apart." Nobody has brought it up, but I know someone has looked at my screen and went, "Why do you have dual heavy cannons? Only a 2.5% chance to crit. Are you in system space rather than sector space?" And I'm like, visibly, like DS9 is in the background. I'm definitively someplace where all of my space stats would take into effect, and I have a 2.5% chance to crit.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's fine. I don't give a crap about my weapons critting. Besides, I can also choose an arcane power, which is the probability manipulation, which sets my crit strike to 50% for like 20 seconds. And then on top of, but most of my damage, as Hal and you know, come from exotic damage abilities, where I have a trait that based on my exotic particle generators, I get crit strike and crit severity for exotic damage abilities, which is about 45% for both of them.
Yeah.
So
you crit about half the time.
I crit about half.
Crit damage is about double normal.
Yeah, but it's not showing up on my character screen because the character screen only shows your raw crit. Plus some of my weapons themselves have a bonus crit chance, built in. Like they have a plus crit H or something like that, which doesn't show up because it's only to that weapon. But it's just so, there were some people that are like, "What are you trying to do with this build? It looks like this ship's randomly put together." I'm like, I'm not trying to do anything. I mean, I am. I'm trying to do and I said, I'm trying to do with this build what exactly it does. "Oh, what is it?" I'm like, "Science. I'm doing science DPS." He's like,
"But you can't be doing DPS.
But that's
not doing good."
He didn't say that, but I could definitely be like, someone else was like, "Oh, I missed that ship. I moved over to escorts." And then we got into a thing. He was like, "Well, I do have the duty officer to proc an extra gravity well." I was like, "Bro, you need to get like the epic one and get like 5 of them mofos." Plus, temporal operative has that like wandering anomaly, and I saw it. I saw all 5 proc on top of something because I popped it. Yeah, it was one of the Voth ships with the little hook on the bottom, the like super beefy ones, but not the full Citadel ship. Mm-hmm. And like one popped up, and then it started trying to move away, and it was following it, obviously, because that's what they do. And then like another one popped up, and it started moving it. And then another one popped it, and they're just like, I was like, I have 6 gravity wells currently collapsing down on this guy. And they just sat there and like the little numbers that pop out of them was just flying by. I think the numbers there were going faster than on your GDAX.
Yeah, probably.
Because I had 5 gravity wells per second, plus all my weapons, plus everything else I was doing to it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I watched them all explode at the end.
Watching you DPS things is a trip and a half.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to watch it and realize exactly how it happens because it doesn't show from a character screen. You can't even really look at my abilities because as I showed in Science Officer 201, is what I called it, advanced training, there's a lot of things that weave in and of each other. So now that the camera is decently wet, I'll clean it off when I get home. I'm just gonna put it in my pocket. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No. Everything's just kind of going. I tried the new yoga thing that you recommended. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I can't figure out what you're starting to be a fan of with yoga. I don't know. I'm trying different things and they all seem to be just sort of flopping.
No. The Sean Vig that I've been doing for the last few nights, aside from last night, is pretty decent.
Well, I don't know why you didn't continue doing that one. I didn't
suggested a new one.
I didn't suggest a new one. I said I did a new one. That doesn't mean you do a new one.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
So I tried the new one. I didn't like it. I'm going to go back to Sean Vig.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. So now that I have an immense amount of frustration. So, I think I was talking about earlier, I was waiting for the guy to log in. So, he lives in Croatia. He's actually better at English than his own language. Odd. He didn't log in or get anywhere near to logging in until like 40 minutes ago. And I'm still talking with him, but I just logged off the game. Because he wanted, oh, can you log in now? Can you log in now? Okay, fine, I'll log in right now. Then he whispered me, sent me a friend request, and continued to talk to me on Facebook. I'm like, there's no reason. I orbited the Draenor colony world like 5 times at like slow impulse. And I have this feeling that I'm designing a ship for him to play, that he doesn't understand why these are the way they are. And that's why Ice Knight said yesterday in the comments, because I know a lot of you do not watch past a certain point. You get up to a certain point, you see that this is not a football skills video, so you type squad and then you move on. There are a few of you that stick all the way to the end, so you know that I have this desire to coach. And that my interpretation and how I understand football will lead to other people understanding the core concepts throughout themselves, rather than just being told, oh, you need to do this, which I understand a lot of people do. They just want to be told what to do so they can succeed, but understand why. And that's our education system in a nutshell. They want to be told this. 5 plus 5 is 10. And I understand that's where Common Core comes from, is that it's teaching you how to look at quantities and figure out that a bunch of quantities add to an extent. I mean, it's algebraic thinking. And so, but that's the thing, is I always think that way. I want you to understand why things are the way they're working, why you're doing it this way. Not that you should be doing it this way. So that's what's going to make me a good coach, is that I'm going to teach these kids how, the why, not the how. Not like, this is a back pedal, do a back pedal. Okay, I did a back pedal. Even though that's what the kids are going to want to do. And am I frustrated on this? Yes, because that's going to be the frustration. And that's what Willie's frustration was with coaching, is that the kids just wanted to do and then to succeed. They didn't want to figure out why, because if you figure out why, and if you can figure out the whole reason as to things work the way they do, then you can do it on your own. You don't have to, if it doesn't fit, it's a concept of the cylinder. I want to call it a symmetric cylinder, but it's like 1 inch diameter on the circle part, and it's 1 inch, deep, 1 inch tall. So it's pretty much a square. If you look at it from one area, you've got a 1 inch circle. If you look at it from 90 degrees, you have a 1 inch square. Well, you've got a hole, and it's a square. People will see, oh, I have a cylinder. I can't fit it in the square hole. But if you understand that you can manipulate it and then push it through the square hole, that works. Some people don't even think that a square and a diamond are the same thing. It's just you just rotate it. And it's a little depressing not be able to go that extra step in thinking. And I know a lot of people in MMOs do that. They just want to be told what to do so they can succeed. Give me the spec, give me the gear, and I will succeed. Because that's what happens. Your gear plays the game for you. Your spec plays the game for you. No, the really good players play the game with the tools available within the game. And they understand what works together with each other. And some people can come up with unorthodox stuff that's still successful, which is pretty much what my life is. I do not have viral videos on YouTube. And I have over 5,000 subscribers. Could I have a Dockery amount of level subscribers? Probably, but I'm not an ex-D1 athlete that runs around showing up people. Could I have the sheer amount of subscribers that the kicker from UCF has? Probably. But again, I didn't screw over a D1 scholarship so that I could pursue YouTube instead. My whole life has been very unorthodox in doing things. I didn't play WoW the way people thought I should. I didn't do the cookie cutter stuff. I didn't even start football at a nice time. Everybody starts when they're young, junior high, youth, even high school sometimes. You know, much of the time actually. So, and here I was at 32. I'm feeling stagnant. And I don't know, because it's like the semi-pro world doesn't go anywhere. Even if I did get over the Raiders, even if I was a starting linebacker on the Portland Raiders, and we ran to all those games, we mopped up everything, and I got a championship ring. Then I go on to, then I go play these guys down in California, and then I beat them. And then we get the national semi-pro championship. Well, the thing is, there's a Portland Raiders for every league. So you basically are like, okay, I'm going to come back to this league. I'm going to play the same teams-ish with the shuffled around guys because of drama. And then I'm going to go on and pretty much play the exact same team, in the championship. And then in that championship, and it's like there's no advancement. There's no like the Portland Raiders get upgraded to a new level. There's no relegation. There's not like, oh, your team did crappy, we're going to demote you. There's no threat to to your team in your league to do well. I mean, obviously you want to win, but if your team goes defeated the entire season, you're not going to get kicked out of the league. At least not to my knowledge. That's that. I don't know. I had a little rant. I got frustrated. My phone's blinking. I'm going to finish this sandwich. I'm going to hopefully get him off the line so I can get out and do something today. Because I played Star Trek for like 2 hours waiting for him to log in, and he finally logged in when I was like, okay, fine, he's not logging in. And I finally log out, and he logs in, he was like, I'm in game. So I get in game, and he doesn't want to talk in game. I need to go strength train, because I need to get out of this apartment. Hopefully, I'll take the camera, and I'll record something out on a field today. If not, because of the rain, I'll do something else for tomorrow. I don't know. Oh, it's Tub Talk. 2 videos tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later.